What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hopefully you're enjoying your weekend thus far and dreading the work week up ahead or the school week up ahead. Today is the day we finally do the Q&A, and I'm so excited to do this. I am full of energy right now, so I really want to dive into this while I am at that peak energy. But thank you so much for clicking on this video, and I really hope you do enjoy it. And if you do, please make sure you leave a like, rating down below, comment any thoughts, questions, or concerns, and also hit that giant red subscribe button at any point throughout this video. And I have the questions on my second monitor over here, so if you see me looking over to my right, I guess that would be your left, I'm looking at the questions. All right, so let's just dive right into it. No need to sugarcoat this because this is going to be a fun video. I have no time length prepared for this. It's not like I'm gonna slam it into 10 minutes. I'm not gonna try to make it a half-hour video. I kind of want this to be like a live stream kind of a thing. I know it's not a live stream, but I don't want to edit this. I want this to be raw. I want it to be authentic and natural, and let's just have a good time. So first question is, I'm going to keep those that asked the question anonymous because I didn't actually write it down. I just have the questions over here. So if you see your question, leave a comment down in the comment section below and be like, oh, that was my question. Thanks for answering it. Question 1. How many cards in total do you have at your store right now? I want an exact answer. That's a tough one. I mean, I have no idea. I'd say each display case can hold probably 50 or so cards. That's 250. All the cards, I have no idea, honestly. I'm gonna say, you want an exact number. I'm gonna say 15,338. There you go. 15,338. That's how many I have at this very moment as I record this on March 9th. Obviously, that's going to change. I sold a couple earlier today, so I'm trying to, take that into consideration. In your opinion, what are Boston/New England's best 3 championship seasons? That's tough. Now, if you've ever been to the shop, you know that I have championship banners hanging in the shop, and there's 4 different colors: red for the Red Sox, blue for the Patriots, gold/yellow for the Bruins, and green for the Celtics. And they're all hanging up there. 3 best championship seasons. So I'm gonna answer this without bias. I'm gonna try to answer it based off of more meaning, and I'm not gonna put it in order, but I think 2004 Red Sox winning the World Series probably would be number 1. I think any New England/Boston sports fan would put 2004 Red Sox at number 1. That was kind of an easy one, but the other 2, I want to say the 2014 Patriots. That was theirs and Brady's first Super Bowl in a decade since the first dynasty, and that kind of kicked off the second dynasty. So I'm going to say the 2014 Patriots. And then, I don't know. I mean, the Bruins winning in 11 was pretty big. The Celtics winning in 2008 was big. Best 3 championship seasons. I mean, the 2018 Red Sox were by far the most dominant team in baseball that year. So you could even make an argument for them. You could make an argument for the 2013 Red Sox, after the Boston Marathon bombing. This is a really good one. I think, you could even argue the 2001 Patriots. Drew Bledsoe goes down. Patriots, have the sixth round pick quarterback being the quarterback, leads them to the playoffs. They win the Super Bowl. You could argue that. I might. Okay, I'm going to say the 2018 Red Sox just because they were a force to be reckoned with that year. And they were just by far the most dominant team. They ran through the Rays. Did they play the Rays that year? I know they ran through the Astros. Obviously the Dodgers. I think they played the Rays that year. I don't even remember. By sheer dominance, I think it'd be negligent to not say the 2018 Red Sox. But you could make the argument for the 2013 Red Sox. You can make an argument for 2001 Patriots, 2008 Celtics, and 2011 Bruins. I think those are the other years, the championship years, that I would consider for that spot as well. What is your favorite card? It's water. It's water. If I could show you, it's just water. I'm not drinking on the job. I'm not drinking. It's water. All right. I am thirsty. I am parched. What's your favorite card? Well, like my personal collection is like there's a piece of wood up here, and they're up here, and I would assume that it's coming from there. I got a 2000 Brady rookie. I have obviously a 2021 Mac Jones rookie in the Patriots jersey. Those are pretty much up there. I have a 1/1 Pedro Martinez bat, jersey, and auto. That's really up there too. I'm probably going to say that's my favorite card just because it's a 1/1. Mac Jones rated rookies are everywhere. I mean, Tom Brady rookie cards aren't everywhere, but they're way more common than a 1/1 of Pedro Martinez, where you get a piece of his bat, piece of his jersey, and his auto on top of that. So that might be my favorite card. Is it the most valuable one? No, I still think that Brady rookie probably takes that cake, but that Pedro Martinez 1/1 is probably my favorite card. Hey brother, what made you want to start a sports shop in the first place? Well, my dad was a convenience store owner for about 40 years, so owning my own business is kind of in my blood, to be honest. Just kind of learned from a young age what it takes to run a business, what running a business is like. So in high school, I wanted to do something with sport. I played baseball, basketball, and soccer basically my whole life, and I wanted to do something with sports. I wanted to be a coach, a GM, a scout, something like that. That was my original plan. So I go to school for sport management, and then halfway through, I switch my major to psychology. I wanted to help people more on a personal level, that one-on-one level. Then I graduate, and then the beginning of my master's program, I didn't want to do it anymore. I was getting my master's in clinical mental health counseling, and I still got it. I didn't quit. I didn't drop out halfway through or anything. I finished my master's degree, even though I didn't want to do anything with it, or I didn't want it at all. But I finished. But the beginning of that program, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I want to go back to sports, go back to my roots. So I just kind of thought, like, what can I do? Like, I could coach, sure, like a high school or like a D3 college, but, it's not going to be, financially stable, put it that way, lack of better terms. So I, got back, I got back into sports cards previously. And this is like summer of 2019. So this is like before the COVID boom, right? And it's like, I remember going to sports card shops my entire childhood, being at like, Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, buying packs, looking for players, like my favorite players, back in the day, Nomar, Ortiz, Manny, Ken Griffey Jr., who else out there? Granted he was on the Yankees, but, A-Rod was still, I don't know, for some reason I liked A-Rod. I don't know why. But then, like, players switch teams, and you're like, oh, I remember them when they were on the Expos, and you're, look up the Expos cards, and you see them on the Nationals cards. I know it's not changing teams, but different, name, I guess, right? Or, Red Sox player from 2004, you see them in 2007, they're like, whoa, when did they get to the Dodgers, or whatever. So, I don't know, just, sitting down, thinking, contemplating, tons of conversations with Kim, and I finally decided to, what? Let's pursue opening a sports card shop while I stay in my master's program. And at the end of my master's program, if I still don't want to use my degrees, then I'll do the sports card business. So I graduated the beginning of January 2020. Come to find out, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And that's kind of when COVID, started to take over, right? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, January 2021. So this is kind of when COVID was just taking over, or actually already had taken over. I'm just trying to make sure I get my dates right. Yeah. So yeah, January 2021, COVID's already taken over. I was like, all right, I'm going to do the sports card business. And here we are. I have my master's degree in my back pocket, but here we are owning sports card business. And that's kind of the story of how I got into it. I didn't open the shop right after my master's degree. You know, I still had to wait out COVID a little bit because you couldn't do anything in person. You know, money and finances were so in limbo. So I kind of waited a few months. I started the podcast, Murph's Boston Sports Talk, which a lot of you guys may know. And if you don't, definitely go check it out. Right now I'm on a inter-season break. Season 2 will air on March 1st. I'm sorry, not March 1st, April 1st. April 1st, 2022. It's not an April Fool's joke. But I started that in January, and I used that as a segue until I was ready and I opened Murph's Cardtown Sports Shop. So that's how, that's kind of what made me want to do it, I guess. I mean, long story, long. I didn't really make it short, but that's kind of what made me want to open up the shop. Add some more Yankees cards. I know exactly who wrote this question, and it's not even a question, it's a statement. Add some more Yankees cards. No. Okay, listen, if it's a good price, good player, short print, parallel, insert, whatever it may be, sure, absolutely. Because, you know, on the podcast, I try to be unbiased. Even here at the shop, I try to be unbiased, so I actually have to be. But adding some Yankees cards, something that I'm kind of hesitant to do, but maybe I will. When can I get a sweatshirt? Well, you can actually get a sweatshirt at any time you want. I have a Teespring website link that I'll leave in the comments, the description of this video actually, and I'll even throw it in a comment, where you can click on that link. You can order a shop shirt, a podcast shirt, a shop hoodie, like this, or you can order a podcast hoodie at any size you want, and there's a variety of colors to pick from. So, like I said, I will leave a link to that in the description, and I will leave a link to it in the comment section below as well. All right, quick sip. This question right here is a little aggressive. Punt to the nuts or skate to the tongue? I'm gonna take the punt to the nuts, I guess, just because I don't want my tongue cut in half, or I don't want like a gouge on my tongue. I feel like a punt to the woo-ha is painful, but I think it's something I can bear. How about this? I'll wear a cup, all right? I'll wear a jock strap, be protected, so when I get a punt to the nuts, I'll be well prepared. Most expensive card and your favorite card. Well, I already kind of addressed the favorite card. That's probably the Pedro Martinez one that I mentioned earlier. My most expensive card. Well, my personal collection isn't all that expensive. It's more sentimental, if anything. So I'm going to kind of answer the most expensive card part based off of what I have in the cases. And for a few weeks, I had a neon green Pulsar Joe Burrow Prism. That was kind of during the playoff run up to the Super Bowl. Let's see. I took that out. What's the most expensive card right now? I have a different Tom Brady rookie card. That's a few $100s. I know I got tons of hobby boxes that are worth more than a few $100s. I don't think I have the 2021 Prestige Spellbound set. I have Brady and I have them all graded. I have 3 9.5s and I have 2 9s. If you saw my TGA submission reveal, you would have known about that. I have that priced at somewhere between $300 and $400. I know it's not card, but cards, it's a set. That might be my most expensive. It's either that or probably the Brady rookie. I don't carry a lot of high-end stuff just because that's not what my population really wants. You know, it's tough these days. COVID is still lurking around. The economy is kind of in whack. Inflation's going up. So it's like, what's the purpose of me having a $1,000 card if no one's going to buy it? Like I said, my population, they may want that, but I think 9 out of 10 people that come into my shop kind of would rather have like the $100 card or the $50 card or something that's way more affordable than, $1,000 card. And I could absolutely carry, multi-hundreds and multi-$1,000 cards if you want me to. But again, I don't want that stuff to just sit in my case and just let it kind of, grow old there. I'd rather be able to get it, put it in the case, and sell it. Inventory must go in, inventory must go out. But that Brady rookie, I believe it's a 2000 Aurora PSA 8, I believe. I thought it was an A5, but I think it's just an 8. And that's somewhere between 300 and 400 right now. Already answered that. Your best pull from a baseball, football, your best pull from a football, baseball, or basketball box and how much it was worth. So here at the shop, there's been a bunch of one-of-ones. Come to find out, I had 3 one-of-ones pulled in a 5-day span. Absolutely nuts. I've had RPAs, I've had, out of 5s, autos, jumbo pack, you name it. But those are what customers bought or from box breaks. Me personally, I don't do a lot of ripping. I really don't. I kind of get my ripping fix from doing box breaks, because I can't really buy a box and rip it. I'd rather sell it, to be honest, and I'd rather give it to you so you have access to it, so you don't have to, overextend an arm and a leg to get it, wherever. So my personal best pull. So I guess I'll kind of use the box break because I ripped it and I technically pulled it, although it wasn't mine. Was a George Kittle out of 5 auto from 2021 Illusions. It's from a hobby box, and it was part of the break. I'll leave a little thing right here for you guys if you want to go check that out. And I don't know how much it was going for because out of 5 it's very hard to gauge, but I think I found it out of 25 when I kind of looked it up. It was going for like $125, I want to say. So, kind of multiplier out of 5, I'd probably say low 200s. Personal card that I kept. I did a pack battle one time with some guy. I got a Mac Jones rated rookie. That's actually the one that I have in my PC. That was the first one and the only one that I was able to pull, and I kept it. But that's not worth that much. It's an SGC 10, so you could probably find that for $30 on eBay or your LCS anywhere. Mac Jones 1-of-1 wasn't mine, but it came from the shop. That's anywhere from $2,000 to like $10,000. Condition pending, grading pending, of course. But I don't do a lot of ripping, so that's kind of a tough question for me to answer. Why do you like the Bruins? We're wrapping up on a few other questions. We got a couple left. Why do I like the Bruins? Well, they're a Boston team, first and foremost, right? They're a Boston team. They're good predominantly year in and year out. I didn't really grow up with hockey, so liking the Bruins is something that I kind of had to mold myself. Because, my parents weren't into hockey really. My dad was big into baseball, football, and basketball, so hockey was kind of left out a little bit. That's why hockey is probably like my 4th favorite sport. But the way the NBA has turned, it's kind of like, 3rd, 4th. I just happen to play basketball, my whole life really, compared to hockey. But I did play 1 year of hockey when I was 12 years old, and that was my only year that I played hockey. And the reason why I only played 1 year is because it was either basketball or hockey. And I chose basketball. So regionally based is probably the predominant reason why I like the Bruins. But like I said earlier, they're predominantly good year in, year out. They won the Stanley Cup, 11 years ago. So hopefully they're in the middle of a playoff run now. Hopefully they can make a deep run and win another cup. They got a really good team, but a lot of moves need to be made. And we'll just have to see. We will have to wait and see. But that is why I like the Bruins. Let's see. Joe Thornton was probably my first favorite player for the Bruins. Then, obviously, Chara and Bergeron. Then here comes Marchand. Here comes, Charlie McAvoy. Obviously, we're talking more recent now. Pastrnak, too. But Joe Thornton was my original favorite player for the Bruins. And he's still playing today, which is absolutely nuts. He's like 40 years old, and he's a shell of himself, but he's still playing. Last question, and I appreciate you guys watching this Q&A. And if you're still here, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Comment any comments and thoughts down below. And if you have an additional question, leave that in the comment section as well, as I'd be sure to get to it once I read through the comments. And also, please consider hitting that giant red subscribe button, as I would greatly appreciate the love and support. The last question is a simple question, actually. Favorite sport? Well, I might be in the minority on this one, but my favorite sport is baseball, believe it or not. As big into football, as big into basketball, and I already talked about hockey, baseball is my favorite sport. And oftentimes I find myself telling people that, hey, baseball is my favorite sport, but it pains me to only offer a limited selection of it just because it's not as popular as football and basketball are. When it comes to sports cards, football. And then here's basketball. And here at the shop, in the community, and the population at Murph's Card Town is, football and basketball. They're 1 and 2. Oh, football's 1, basketball's 2. And then, there's a giant pile of dirt, and then there's baseball all the way down here. And that pains me. It really does inside. And I've accepted it. It is what it is. But baseball is my tried and true favorite sport. I love it so much. I've played t-ball since I was like 3 years old. I did an adult league in like 2019, so I've just played fairly recently, and I'd love to get into another one. But baseball is my favorite sport, and I understand it's a slow game, and it's very hard for a casual fan to sit down and watch. I was a believer in the lockout. It needed to happen, and I'm glad it's happened. But the way that the lockout has turned and how the owners are making the players look like they're, guilty of everything is an absolute shame. The owners should be very ashamed of themselves for how the lockout has turned. Again, I believed that the sport needed the lockout. It's just how the owners have twisted the lockout to make them look, free of guilt, where they're putting all the blame on the players. And I go way more into this onto my last few episodes of Murph's Boston Sports Talk towards the end of February, actually. But hopefully we get a decision and an agreement between the players and the owners fairly soon, so we don't miss any more regular season games than we've already had for the 2022 season. So having games canceled and the regular season kind of be on pause and spring training be on pause pains me as well. Again, the lockout needed to happen, but not the way that it's happened. And it absolutely pains me, and I absolutely hate it. But baseball, long story long, again, baseball is my favorite sport. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Again, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as I would greatly appreciate that. And I really enjoy this Q&A session. I would definitely love to do another one of these fairly soon. Maybe on the podcast, I'll kind of do another one, maybe a shorter one or even a longer one on the podcast when season 2 premieres. However, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you in the next one, but between now and then, you guys know that I love you, and I will always see ya. Make sure you go watch this video before you do anything else. All right, see ya.